Social media is filled with photos and videos of people out RV camping in breathtaking places with not a care in the world. Heck, they look like the happiest people on the planet. The truth is, RV camping is not always peaches and cream. But make no mistake, RV camping is not for everyone. Here's the thing, if you're not willing or prepared to deal with these 8 worst things about RV camping, then you should not buy an RV. But after you get a dose of reality of the non-glamorous side of RV camping and you're still really excited, then you know it's going to be worth it. But first, if you're new here, I'm Randy, and every Thursday I help you make big memories in small campers. And say it with me, because weekends are just too short. This list is in no particular order, but everything on this list is very important, so you need to hear them all. And I'm not embarrassed to tell you that the last thing on this list is a thing that's been the worst thing for me to deal with when it comes to RV camping. Okay, let's get started. And the first thing on the list is you're gonna need to empty your toilet. At home, when you flush your toilet, the waste material just magically disappears. But when you own an RV with a bathroom, there are some extra steps that you're gonna need to take to dispose of this waste. You see, the waste in your RV toilet dumps into a holding tank, and this is known as your black tank. To empty this tank, you connect a sewer hose to the tank and a septic system and flush the contents out. Yes, you're going to be carrying a sewer hose with you, and you're going to be using it every time you go camping. And during this process, you might just get a whiff or two of some unpleasant odors. And this is not glamorous, but it is part of the RV camping experience. I gotta tell you, I got pretty grossed out the first time I watched my husband Tom do this. Just the thought of handling the sewer hose, even with gloves on, made me cringe. And not knowing if the person before us at the dump station had any spillage was a thought that kept running around in my mind. It's kind of crazy how your mind wanders. Oh, and there's other fun RV toilet things that you're gonna have to deal with, like poop pyramids. Yeah, that's a thing. Sometimes it's just hard to get all that solid waste out of the tank. My point is, dumping your RV tanks is just part of the RV camping experience. You will be dealing with bathroom things that you'd never have to deal with at home. Number 2 on the list is unexpected RV camping expenses are expected. Oh boy, the true cost of RV camping can be expensive. When you bought your RV, you probably had to write a hefty sized check or take out a hefty sized loan. But that's only the beginning. Some of your ongoing RV expenses you can budget for, but some of them you have no way of knowing how much you need to budget for. The truth is, you're just never gonna know ahead of time how much these unexpected expenses will be. Let's start by talking about some of the smaller ticket items that you may not have thought about, and then let's work our way up to the higher ticket price items. Let's flash forward in time for a minute. Now you've bought in your RV, and you're so excited about your first camping trip. Yay, we're gonna go camping. You've probably been anticipating your very first camping trip for months, just like I did. But wait, not so fast. Because there's gonna be gear that you need to purchase before that first camping trip. There are gonna be things like a sewer hose and disposable gloves like we just talked about, but there are gonna be other things like wheel chocks to keep your camper in place when it's parked, leveling blocks to level your RV when it's parked or at the campsite, and other essential RV camping gear. And these things can add up real quick. So I've created a previous video and a checklist that will tell you exactly what you do need, and more importantly, what you don't need. Because you may need to keep those extra funds for things that I'm gonna share with you next. Next, let's talk about fuel cost. It's gonna cost a lot more to tow a camper down the road than it is if you were just driving your vehicle down the road. And this is because it takes more fuel to tow the additional weight. And this can add up quickly. And I wanted to mention this because this could be a cost that you may not have considered. Next, you're gonna have maintenance and upkeep costs. You won't know exactly when you may need to replace your RV battery or replace your tires, but at some time you will incur these costs. And the number 1 unexpected expense that you need to expect is for RV repairs. No matter how well your camper is built, things are gonna break. After all, you're towing a camper down the road, so things are bound to happen. And depending on what breaks in your RV, this could cost you several $100s or several $1,000s. What you're never gonna know is the next time you see one of those gorgeous, breathtaking pictures of somebody out RV camping, what were the expenses that they just paid for? What things just broke in their RV that they didn't expect? Right? They never talk about that. I hope I haven't scared you off yet, because there are still 6 more RV worst things about camping coming up. But real quick, before we move on, I want to take a real quick moment to let you know I'm making this video because I want to help you overcome your biggest RV newbie obstacles, fears, and challenges. And this video is the first in the series I'm calling Make Memories, Not Regrets. If you're a first-time RV buyer, these videos will help guide you through the process, but more importantly, stop you from making mistakes so that you don't have any regrets. If I've missed anything or you've got questions that I've not answered, I want to hear all about them. Let me know in the comments section below. This series is all about you, and I want to help you in any way I can. Number 3 on the list, you may be forced to disconnect from this connected world. Are you going to be okay if you need to spend a few days without a cell signal or an internet connection? Over half the campgrounds that I've camped at have had little or no cell service at all. Sometimes when you find yourself in that situation where you don't have any cell service, this might be difficult for some people. Being out in nature while I'm camping is the thing I love most. But there have been times when, I gotta tell you, I wish I had had a cell signal. After all, once I take that perfect photo and want to share it on social media, if I don't have a cell signal, I can't upload it. You know yourself best. Are you gonna be okay if you don't have access to Facebook or Instagram for a few days? I guarantee you this, some of the most gorgeous, breathtaking RV camping photos that you have seen on Instagram, they have not had any cell service. Number 4, getting campground reservations can be challenging. Americans have been craving the freedom to travel and to explore the outdoors more than ever. According to Go RVing, 11.2 million households now own an RV, and this is up over 26% from the past 10 years. Now, this is really good news, but the reality is this also means that the most desirable campgrounds often will book up just hours after the campground becomes reservable. Now, that's craziness. 4 years ago, when I first bought my camper, I was never concerned about finding a place to camp, even if I wanted to go last minute. Those were the good old days. And I gotta tell you, I've gotten pretty strategic about doing this too. I've done a previous video about this topic, so I'm not gonna go into full details here. But the fact is, getting campsite reservations at popular campgrounds such as national parks or state parks can be challenging if you don't make your reservations far in advance. I couldn't waste the opportunity to mention winter camping because I love winter camping in Minnesota. But you want to know what the best thing about winter camping in Minnesota is? I don't have to make a reservation, there aren't any crowds, and I usually have the campground all to myself. I'm just saying, winter camping's fun. Number 5, unpredictable bad weather can ruin your camping trip. Now you know that you're going to be planning a lot of your camping trips months in advance, and you're going to be really excited to go. But let me tell you, weather can often dampen any camping trip. Even if you do plan last minute and the forecast looks beautiful, Mother Nature has her own plans. Most of our time, RV camping is spent outdoors. And if you're like me, a weekend warrior, and if it happens to rain all weekend, well, this isn't glamorous. In Minnesota, the summers can get really hot, and then when the humidity sets in, it can be miserable just standing outside. So tell me, how many RV camping photos or videos have you seen when it's been pouring rain outside or storming? Probably not too many. But the reality is, you will be RV camping in bad weather sometimes. Number 6, it's difficult to keep your camper clean and tidy. Every time that you see the inside of someone's RV while they're out camping, it always looks so inviting. It's sparkly clean, neat, organized, and so tidy. But I'm here to tell you, don't believe what you see, because your RV isn't gonna look like this when you're out camping. This one got me at first. I'm one of those people that just like to keep things clean and tidy. But I found that when I was out camping, keeping my camper clean and tidy was hard, especially the floor. Of course, at home, I always take my shoes off before I enter my house. But when I'm out camping, I'm constantly coming and going. So I don't want to be taking my shoes on and off each time I come and go. It just isn't practical for the most part. Or even if I do wear my flip-flops and take them off, dirt still gets inside. And if you have a dog, even more dirt's gonna get tracked in. At the end of most camping days, my RV floor is filthy dirty. To help me keep my sanity, I started following a routine. Every evening, I always sweep the floor. And at the end of every camping trip, I do a thorough cleaning job and make this just part of my teardown process. Oh, and don't get me started about keeping things tidy. I'm all team small camper, but at the end of the day, small places can quickly become cluttered. And when things are cluttered, this makes me feel unorganized. So if you're like me and you like things clean and tidy, this is gonna take some extra effort on your part. I told you, RV camping's just not as glamorous as the photos and the videos that you're gonna see on social media. Woohoo, we're already up to number 7. And number 7 is learning new things is gonna be essential. And this is a biggie because if you've never owned an RV before, there's gonna be a learning curve. There are gonna be some things that are gonna be okay to figure out along the way. Things like how to attach a sewer hose and how to clean your black tank, how to winterize your RV if you live in a climate where the winters are gonna reach below freezing, or how to maintain an RV battery. And then there are the things you must know before your first camping trip. Probably the two most important things that you're gonna need to know as a first-time RVer are gonna be how to hitch and how to unhitch your RV. Doing these two things properly is gonna ensure safety for you and your family when you're towing your RV down the road, and always ensure that your RV is safe and secure while you're camping and is parked. Yes, there's definitely a learning curve to RVing, and I'm not an expert. I'm constantly learning new things, and that's the main reason I first started my YouTube channel. I wanna help you avoid making some of those same mistakes that I've made along the way. Number 8, towing and backing up a camper can be really challenging. I'm here to tell you, if you've never backed up or towed an RV before, it's not as easy as it looks. Here's the thing. I've been watching my husband tow and back up our little guy Max for years. He's never had any big problems and he makes it look so easy. So I was sure that after practicing for a few times, I would have nailed this. Well, when my vehicle's moving forward, I don't have any problems. There were a few things that I did have to adjust to, like when I pulled into a gas station, but that wasn't too difficult for me. Now backing up for me, I want to just pull my hair out. I can't tell you how many times I've practiced this, but I still don't have the confidence and I just don't feel comfortable doing it. Sometimes I can back the camper into a campsite, and then sometimes, well, it's just so dang frustrating. I know I'm gonna master this, right? Well, to help myself out, I did find an RV driving school, and I'm going to be attending a backup class this spring. Over the course of time, I've witnessed my share of people that have struggled getting their camper into their campsite. Not so much because they didn't know what they were doing, but because the campsite was either really narrow, or there were trees or rocks in the way, or there just wasn't a lot of room to maneuver the RV and the tow vehicle. I mention this because even if you feel confident of backing a camper up, there's probably going to be times when you pull up to your campsite and wonder, how the heck are you going to get your camper in that campsite? Now tell me, how many times have you seen somebody post a picture or a video on social media that has shown the real struggles that they've had when they've tried to back up their camper into a campsite? Drum roll, please, because I need to know. After hearing about the worst things about RV camping, are you still in? If you said yes, yay! Then you'll need to watch next Thursday's video because we're gonna have a candid conversation about RV sizes. I'm all team small camper, but the truth is there are both pros and cons to owning a small camper versus a larger travel trailer. And this is another biggie. The size of the RV that you do purchase is gonna matter, and I don't want you to have any regrets. So I can't wait to see you in that video next Thursday.